Hey dickhead, come on, it's review time!
I'm trying to brush my fucking jumpers, you little rat!
Fuck! You better now, princess?
Yeah, well, look, at the end of the day, if you want me looking like shit when I do a review, I can do that for you.
So, how you look all the time? Ooh, that's hot!
Glory to that kind.
Welcome back to Dat Game, the show where we take a look at video games with sexy, sexy covers. I'm Shades, and today I want to take us back to the first year of Dat Game.
Oh joy, the cringe era!
Back when Dat Game was first conceived over a bunch of tissues and my own load, we covered BoneTown 8 fucking years ago.
You can actually hear the jism drying up his cock as he says that.
BoneTown is one of the first porn games that got mainstream attention for the first time. It was after the boom of games such as Custer's Big Load and the other Atari Smut era games.
BoneTown defined an era. This was like the first time that a lewd game made it big. It stuck out of the crowd amongst other games because there was tits and dicks everywhere. And looking back on it, it's one of those games that I still hold fondly for many reasons.
Well, folks, that's BoneTown. It's certainly more than what I expected. It delivered on all accounts, and even appealed to my gaming side, which is difficult in a game that clearly focuses on sex. If you like GTA, corny humor, being Satan, hitting people with children's crossing signs, taking drugs, stealing people's identity, and hunting for secrets in the forest only to beat up Jesus, then this game is for you. If you like the sex appeal, well, then this game is definitely for you. This game is pleasing.
So what if I told you that D-Dub himself wasn't gone? He took the game to Steam and tried to censor it. But not long after, Gabe was in his tower and was like, well, I like porn games. And everyone started showcasing their adult games on Steam. D-Dub decided it was time to give BoneTown what it deserved. A Steam debut. A second coming. With more content promised down the line.
I'd say prime me, baby, I'm ready for seconds.
Let's take a look at what D-Dub himself has promised with the new release, and later dive into the game and take a sticky walk down memory lane.
It's like going back to something you fat too many years ago. You'll get Vietnam flashbacks as you're mid-stroke of where you were, mid-nut.
People in Ross's house, here's Ross, editing, that's...
Why would you do this? Why would you...
Oh shit, we'll come back later, dude.
Why would you do this? Stop filming!
So D-Dub has stated that he's overhauling the world, filling it with more NPCs, missions, achievements, body types, voices, expanding on the story, and sex stores, so you can unlock all your favorite positions and modes to play with so your hands are numb.
They even want to bring modding to the game. Imagine Steam Workshop with modding for BoneTown. We could add some Shady loot cart shit in there.
Or you could not.
As of writing this review, they added Episode 1 content. A movie theater you can visit, new playable characters, and upgrades.
It's like resurrecting a boner from back in the day, the sands of time, deep, deep in the tomb, as you open up that sarcophagus and you let it out to...
Booting up BoneTown, we're greeted with the classic beat, that smooth BoneTown theme. Feels like when you return to Grove Street after years of not playing San Andreas. Fuck, my cock is about to burst from the excitement.
Juicy cock!
Straight away you can see the improvements from the hardware that they used before. More people are populating the game. It feels like a world filled with life. There are a few things that have not aged as well, but that's the great part about a lewd game from the early years. It's part of the charm.
Oh god, clip it!
Much like a classic FAP, going back to that old crusty hentai. You know the one. The one that was 240p, but you had the memory of your first salty nut.
I like to knock myself out after a wank. Sometimes I want to forget how good it was and then relive the feeling for the first time all over again.
The controls have been retweaked as well as difficulty. Though for me, I loved how tough the game was back in the day. It made you work hard for the goods. If you never played BoneTown, let's break it down for you peeps. You play as a loser who wakes up on a beach while getting pissed on. You await to talk to a killer babe on the beach who teaches you how to fuck. Fucking in BoneTown is the main bread and butter of the game. Simple and effective. You slide the meters to line up with hers in order to satisfy the girl.
Look, we know what YouTube's like. Half of my friends have gone off this goddamn platform. So in order for me to talk about what's happening on the screen, I'm gonna have to obviously be a little bit descriptive while showing you something wholesome.
You are whipped, fuckboy.
Susan loves it.
So the game's core is GTA-style gameplay. Walking around, doing missions, fucking bitches, playing minigames, and beating up people to steal their identity. On the right, there are many drugs you may partake in.
Hell, I explained it quite well in my first video.
Beer and whiskey increases your ball size for a small amount of time, and if you have that secondary attack, you can throw bottles. Weed is for the power of air. Lickable frogs to be used as poisonous weapons against enemies. Crack to make you run super fast. Papaya fruit to make you invincible, and even mushrooms to make you invisible.
The game is broken up into zones. The city, the burbs, beaches, and even a secret forest. There is so much to explore in BoneTown. And straight away, you know this game was designed by those OG gamers. The ones who love leaving the bounds of the game, to find secrets as they hide Easter eggs everywhere, from hidden collectibles, secret ladies, and more. So the main story of BoneTown is to Nut, going up against the man. The man doesn't want anyone to bone in BoneTown, and keeps a leash on everything and everyone. As you can see, they watch from certain areas, so committing the sins of the flesh or crimes in that area will spawn the man to come beat your ass. Working your way through each mission, you find out who's running the man, and who stole away your first bang. Now, stealing identities. It's part of how you get stronger in the game. It's not just about looks, but it's about the status. So stealing a radio presenter from Cunt Radio is quite a good score. Weapons are level based too, and with your balls, the more you complete missions, the more they grow, making you stronger and more attractive to the ladies.
Oh, fuck, sorry. Oh, my level 30 nuts are killing me today. Oh, it's so tender. Oh,
There are sub-missions too, like fights and bang missions. Things that help you get cash. Cause yeah, you can find some bottles and weed if you know where to look, but if you need that boost of items, you're gonna need some green. I don't think I mentioned this last time, but one of the guest characters in this game is Ron fucking Jeremy. No shit. The king himself. And once you complete the missions, you can actually become him, spouting one-liners as you bash gash for cash.
Now we have to talk about the change of climate in terms of comedy, because BoneTown prides itself on offensive humor.
Yeah, like and and cunt and getting all over your fucking and then fucking a big old fucking shit.
BoneTown was made in a time where we weren't so butthurt about humor. No limits. You could make fun of everything without somebody getting up in your shit and saying that you're invalidating them. No one is safe in BoneTown, and I like it like that. It reminds me of those 90s comedy frat movies. They just did whatever the fuck they wanted. If you're easily offended, this game isn't going to be for you, but in my opinion, I think the tides will change back and we'll be able to make this kind of comedy boom again. Because anything could be funny in the right context.
I mean, who could say that I was dressed as a reporter with a giant sword fighting the Jews over the Indian people, trying to take our women's back door because they got pygmy cock fever? If anyone could say it's this fucking game.
When I booted back up BoneTown, I was worried that it lost the touch with me. But before I knew it, I was trying to 100% complete it. Trying to unlock every area, item, collect the best gear. It made me realize why I wanted to make games. Because of the amount of things you can give the player to do. So they keep playing and never switch off.
This shit right here is history. It's a relic of the past, and it's a pathway to the future. BoneTown getting its second coming on Steam is just what we needed, since the last 2 years of our lives have been pretty shit.
Fuck, I love getting offended. It's the Australian dream. To wake up and get yelled at, come in a random hole, and then take some drugs till you're pigging in the local car park.
They're gonna be putting mods and DLC into this game? Hell, put me in as a fucking mission, as like an MP, whatever this NPC guy, I'll sell you a couple million copies.
What's it gonna be? You sucking down cocks like Pac-Man?
No. Be me taking on your mum.
Lay down, you juicy cock!
BoneTown is now out on Steam. Give it a go. It will either shock you, make you nut, or just take up some of your time. Either way, you're gonna get something out of this classic. For me, it was just awesome returning to one of those first games I reviewed. I look forward to what D-Dub has in store for us.
This game was a blast from the past. Makes you remember the, Makes you remember the good old days.
Stay a block ahead of DA, cops and the feds. That's why you'll see me frivolously spend a lot of my bread. Constant delivery of liquor shots to the head. And since I haven't been caught, I ain't got to regret. I'ma keep creeping on the low while they got eyes on me. Cause people in the government knows money grows as trees. That's why I dip, dive, glide, and swerve and serve her to all the people that supply the curb. Busy city in the quiet burst. On the grind just so I can find what I deserve. Want the money, wind, water, fire, and earth. And to know if I'll get caught, I just retire first. If I got caught, then I'll probably be calling it quits. But till that time I'm on the ground and my wallet is thick. And I know there could be consequences following this, but I'll let back.